Joined with UNI head men's basketball coach Ben Jacobson as the Panthers get ready for a game in Des Moines against the Iowa Hawkeyes at 6 p.m. in Wells Fargo Arena. And coach, about a third of the way through the season now, your team sits at 4-5 on the season. Talk about just what you've seen from this team so far this season.
Well, we've had saw some really good things in St. Thomas in that tournament. We didn't feel like we played great in Texas when we were down there with Isaiah and playing against Arlington, but felt like in the tournament that we really made some progress and played a good game against Penn, turned it over too many times, which ultimately cost us a chance to get into the semifinals of that tournament, but then turned around and played pretty well against Eastern Kentucky. I thought we really played well in the next game against Old Dominion, and we even carried that over, Brad, to our play at Old Dominion on our way home from that tournament. And the week following that was a tougher week for us on the court. We did not play our best at Utah State. We certainly didn't play our best against South Dakota State up in Minneapolis, and able to get on the practice floor last week and make some progress, and weren't overly sharp against Dubuque. So we're sorting through some things right now. But we have shown at different times already this year, and in particular in St. Thomas, where we're able to play good against good teams, and we made a lot of progress, like I said, in that tournament.
Talking about a lot of road games, you guys had a stretch where you played 7 straight away from the McLeod Center. You mentioned not many practices. What's the toughest part about a road stretch like that?
Yeah, that's the part, not being able to get on the practice floor, and because there's especially early in the season. It continues throughout the season in terms of being able to look at some things in a game and then go to the practice floor and either correct some things and make them better, or make the adjustments and add some things to what you're doing. And during that stretch, when you spend that much time on the road, it's the practice time that really ends up catching you. When we got back to the practice floor last week, there were some things fundamentally. We started into some of our base drills defensively, into some of our base drills in terms of passing and catching, and we had taken a pretty good step back. Yeah, and that's you don't like to see that, but understandable because we had missed some of that time on the practice floor. So the ability to make adjustments, the ability to improve some things, that all happens on the practice court. It doesn't happen during the 40 minutes of the game. And so we had a good week last week, and didn't show in the Dubuque game, but we did get to some things, and we covered some things in practice. And we'll have the same this week, where we're able to be on the practice floor 4 times out of 5 days, so able to make some more progress this week.
Coach, you have 3 newcomers on the team that are playing significant minutes. What have you learned about those 3 guys in the first 9 games of this season so far? Yeah,
all 3 of those guys have been thrown into, and I guess AJ and Trey in particular, into starting roles and into full-time roles, if you will. Biggie has had his moments. In the tournament, he had some stretches where he really played well. Hasn't seen quite as much game action in the last couple, but all 3 of them very important. I think AJ is off to a great start. There's some things that he's doing very well. There's some things that have already happened in our 9 games that he's learning a lot about the game at this level. Trey, even though he played a year ago and was in a starting role and played a ton of minutes, still finding out that there are some things that he can add to his game that can help him become a better player. So I like, those 2 guys are doing a very good job, but also learning a lot about how do we take the next step for them individually, but then how do we help our team as we improve. And like I said, Biggie's had his moments, and I really feel like he's going to have an important part in what happens this year.
All right, we'll have more coming up with UNI head men's basketball coach Ben Jacobson. The Panthers getting set to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes in Des Moines Saturday at 6 p.m. in the Wells Fargo Arena, part of the Hy-Vee Classic. More with Coach coming up here on Panther Sports Talk.